it's hard to find a Christmas gift for people, and especially parents and relatives, and people are always very happy to get Tavazzo's nuts. So it's a nut shop. Think of it as a bulk food store where you can help yourself, and they weigh the amount of nuts that you are buying before you pay. And there are so many types of nuts. There are different types of pistachios. The pistachios that they advertised at the Super Bowl, at the American Super Bowl, they're good nuts, but they're just regular pistachios. The Persian pistachios are large nuts, and they're so tasty. They've got a really full, meaty, nutty flavor, and they're very, very delicious. And we buy other nuts too, like Brazilian nuts. The almonds are really good. We buy dried figs, other dried fruits, and they're so good. The nuts are expensive. they're expensive nuts, but I think they're comparable to buying chocolates for people. And if you compare chocolates and nuts are healthier. I think the shop prides itself in having really, really good quality nuts, and we quite like it. Yeah, so I can understand where its Wagga was coming from in mentioning it's better to use whole walnuts and grind it yourself, or crack the nuts open yourself, rather than the ones that are already hauled for you. Yes. Oh, dates. Dates are good too. I actually have some dates in my fridge, and I got those too at the Persian supermarket. Yeah, those are really, really tasty. Dates and figs, apricots. You got chocolate-filled ones. Those are good. Yeah. And the almonds come in different sizes. Yeah, so it's really good. And nuts are so good for you too. So I was quite excited to learn about the muhammara recipe yesterday. My husband told me to make it on the show today, but we have so much going on. But that's okay. We'll do it for another show, and that'll be a lot of fun. When you have dates, do you like to go to the park or a restaurant? Yeah. And how are you settling into Singapore now? You were there since, I believe, February, around February. So it's been a good 5 months, almost 6 months in Singapore. And I've seen on Twitter you post pictures of the Swan Lake. You like to visit Swan Lake, and there's a lot of nice places to visit in Singapore. So how's it going with your settling there? And I'm going to wash the nuts now. Oh, okay. Good call, it's Wagga. We had a couple of burnt nuts. And generally, I think it's okay. I've done worse than that. And you can hear me talk at a 1 mile a minute because we got to a really, really late start. 1 hour past the usual time. I'm not on a time constraint, but in Singapore it's really late. It's 11:30 p.m. on a Sunday night in Singapore. So it's almost bedtime for Kent. Yeah, it smells really good. Okay, after I cut the ends off of these onions, I'm going to turn the heat right off, and just let it toast on the remaining heat. You love Singapore. That's great to hear. So, that's funny. It's Wagga. Yeah. Quite the opposite. Littering will call for unnecessary attention and penalties. Yeah. So in Singapore right now, it's 11:30 p.m. So it's late. It's morning in Canada. I am broadcasting from the Greater Toronto area of Ontario. I'm just in a city that is north of Toronto. And it is 10:36 a.m. here. The walnuts smell really good. Great. And now I'm going to turn off the heat. Okay. I'm going to let that sit on its own and cut up these onions. These onions are going into the Fesenjan. I'm so glad that you introduced this recipe to me, because Fesenjan is so good. And Gunsmith, hi there. It's we missed you last time, and you're coming back to see a stream that for an item we've cooked before, Fesenjan. It's quite a hit in this kitchen. My family loves it so much, and we were going to do it for last week for my brother-in-law and his family who were visiting our new home for the first time. We thought they'd love Fesenjan, but I got sick and my husband got sick, so we had to cancel. Hence my voice. That's why I sound different. I am recovering from the flu, but getting over it. It's been 9 days. I got my voice back 4 days ago only, so I'm recovering well. I was worse yesterday, and I still streamed, but I am getting my health back slowly and surely. Yeah, and I'm feeling self-conscious. My hair is a bit different. I thought I'd try it down, but it's funny. Okay, there. Why am I using a cleaver for onions? The cleaver is my tool of choice, and I'm always using the cleaver on this show, unless I can't use the cleaver. Yeah. And as you can see, I use it quite quickly. I'm quite familiar with it. Okay, so we're going to bring the onions back there, and I'm going to put the walnuts aside and start on another item. Yes. So let me grab a couple of bowls. You don't have a cleaver. Most people don't have a cleaver. It's a lot of people associate using a cleaver for cutting meats. People often see butchers use cleavers, but I use cleaver for chopping, and it's not uncommon in the in Asian kitchens to use a cleaver for cutting. I even use cleaver for green onions. Yeah, so lots of lots of uses with a cleaver, but I can understand if you're not used to seeing a cleaver. I'm the nut lady. I'm actually allergic to peanuts, hazelnuts, and I have a slight allergy to pecans. I can't have too many pecans. But I wish I could have more nuts, or all the nuts. If I can have all the nuts and have no allergy, I would love to be a travel food blogger. Yeah, but because of my peanut allergy, for Southeast Asian foods, I have to be really careful that there's no peanuts in it, that there's no peanut oil used. I carry an allergy card when I travel that's written in the local language, mentioning that I have an allergy to peanuts, and to let me know if there's any peanuts in the food, or if I'm suffering from a reaction to call the hospital for me. So yes, Diablo 2. I had to think of that reference. I feel like my knowledge of pop culture isn't always the sharpest. Yeah. Hi, Wizzo, how are you? New rice is not like the old rice. Rice is rice. Yes, Gunsmith, you did mention that you forged a knife. I didn't know you did it in Kyoto, though. That's really cool. And do you use this knife or do you have it displayed as a souvenir? We all have our issues, that's right. Yeah, we do. But that's okay. We try to accommodate and make the best of it. We have another viewer from who is half Persian, and he likes. He's heard about Fesenjan, this dish, but he's never tried it because of his allergy to walnuts. And it's such an amazing dish, but he will try it using a different nut like almond, just to at least try to get a similar taste. Ah, I haven't played Diablo 2. I'll check it out though. Okay, so let's put these nuts aside and let's grind them up. And let's get the chicken started on the wok. We're doing it in the wok, and I really wish I could change the camera, but with our technical issue this morning, we quickly downloaded the software onto a different computer, and so we can't switch, but I think you can see. So let's get the nuts aside. While I'm back here, I'm going to tilt the camera a little bit and grab our magic bullet. No, you're looking at my shoulder now. Okay. Okay, I'll put that back. Face my camera. Okay, great. So we have our nuts here. We have our bullet here, which I can move to the front. We've got space in the front. Okay, and we're going to start browning the chicken. Yeah. It's time for a gaming stream. I've never done a gaming stream. Mr. Cook for Fun suggested I do it to add variety on my channel and to meet more viewers that way. But it's really not my thing. And I don't want to pretend to like something, or I don't know. I'll see. Hey, Mr. Cook for Fun is chatting. Hi, Mr. Cook for Fun. So, oh, okay. Wow, it sounds really, really sharp. Yeah. Since you made your own knife. A shaving knife. You're too funny, Iswaga. I can't imagine shaving and then cutting your fruit up with that. But yes, back in the day, the barber knives were these blades that they just like use by hand, without the handle, just a pure blade. Okay, so let's get our chicken on the wok. We have frozen, these are chicken legs that have been deboned and deskinned. And I give the bones to Winston. Winston eats raw chicken bone. He's on a raw diet, and ever since being on that diet, it's been really good for his stomach. He no longer has any gas, and yeah, his output is very clean. It blends in with the soil and mud. It's very, very clean. So he eats the mud. So yeah, this is actually quite a bit of chicken. I wonder if I'll do it all or just half. I think I'll do half of it, and we're going to just put it on the wok and brown it. Okay. Oh, that is a good price. And does that include the knife itself? Yeah, that would be a really good price because knives are expensive. Let my dog eat some grass. He does. Sometimes he will like sniff around the lawn and then he will eat something and then he'll have a bad stomach. And then you'll know what happens when he has a bad stomach. Okay. So we're going to get some cooking oil, which is canola. I wonder if I should move the screen over. Yeah, I feel like I want to move the webcam just a little bit lower so that it's not right in the corner. Maybe there, like that. And maybe I can, don't need that floor space there. There, okay. That's better. I'm putting the wok on minimum. I guess I can put it high, but it tends to heat quickly. Just a tablespoon of cooking oil. This is actually recycled cooking oil from the time we did some deep frying, and we're doing more deep frying today as well. What I did was I filtered the deep frying oil, and then I put it in the fridge. And that could last for a few months that way. Okay. Now get some chopsticks. So I use cleaver and chopstick, Asian tools in my cooking in this kitchen. There's some noise in my mic. Okay, I wonder what that is. The mic is actually right up by the window, so there could be some outdoor noises, but it's mainly wind, some trees blowing, and the rice cooker is actually cooking the Indonesian rice right now. So you could hear a bit of the humming of the rice cooker. That faucet looks like a shower head. It does have a hose. So it's convenient if I'm washing something and if the pot doesn't fit into the sink, I could swing the hose over and fill the pot with water and clean it off to the side that way, which is quite handy. I don't use it a lot though, the hose, but yeah, it has different settings. I can have mist and shower setting as well. Yeah. It's not the actual mic. Clean all the kitchen. That's funny. In Asia, I believe the kitchen and the washroom, there is a drainage right on the floor. Not only in the sink, but right in the floor. And the floors tend to be sloped a bit so that the water can drain because you're always washing the kitchen or washing the bathroom. I'm just going to check on that. Turn it to medium low. And the reason why you're always washing the kitchen and washing the the bathroom floor is that the kitchen sort of doubles as a laundry room as well. The spaces are small in Asia, and so when the laundry is expelling the water, like during the rinse cycle when the bad water is going out, you can actually see the water going onto your kitchen floor. Hopefully it's off to the side, but that's why there is a drainage right on the floor. And same thing with the washroom. The shower room and the washroom are the same. When you take a shower, you close the toilet bowl and you shower right into the room. There's no tub or shower room. The entire washroom is a shower room, so the floors can often be wet. And people often wear slippers when they go to the washroom. So I'm wondering if you all hear a background noise that is disturbing. I'm not sure what that background noise is. I can move the mic, and maybe if it's away from the window, it won't be picking up any interference. Oh no, I'm really sorry though that the background noise is affecting. It's the wind. Oh, you hear that? You still hear it? I can actually close the... We're not using the oven today, so the smoke alarm won't come on. Let me know if it's improved. Yeah, I'll give you a second so that you can sort of see if that has changed. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put some chicken on the wok. Yeah. I'm wondering, I still don't like where the... It must be the mic. There's something wrong with the mic, eh? Okay, let me know if it's changed, if it's improved. Something wrong with the mic. Okay. I'll just check with Mr. Cooker. There seems to be a mic issue. If you know what that is? There seems to be a microphone issue. Lots of technical issues today. Oh my. Okay, I'm going to move this over here. I know you can't see my sink anymore, but it seems like I'm spending more time by the kitchen area, the stove area, so you can see what's going on a little bit better. So let's put some chicken on stove. Oh, this piece isn't deboned. That's okay. So he's going to sizzle. Okay, that's on low heat, so that should be okay. Oh, you think the laptop mic is on, and you think it's affecting my the input. Okay, Mr. Cook for Fun is actually checking it out right now. He's off camera, but you might see his arm. But thanks for letting us know. Yeah, and we hope to resolve this as soon as possible. We have some chicken that isn't defrosted completely. It's been defrosted for 2 days. So that's okay. We've got a good few big pieces on the stove. Gain. Okay, I adjusted a setting called gain on the mic, and hopefully that helps. But let us know what if the sound is improving or not. Sorry, everyone. But thanks for the feedback. That helps us know how to fix the problem. And also, sometimes the mic is in front of me. Oh, the noise is still there. Well, the fan is actually on. We can turn it off. It's not too It's not too smoky. Okay. Add one more piece of chicken. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. So we're browning the chicken right now. Huh. I don't even know what a Yeti is. It's something staticky. Okay, Mr. Cooker Fan can hear it too. It's not the fan or the wind. Thanks, Mr. Cooker Fan, for checking it out. Okay. We have the heat on like a medium, so it will just cook slowly, no burning. And I'm going to get out some ingredients for our spring rolls. So for our spring rolls, we have quite a lot of, oh, Yeti is the big mic. Ah, okay. You can tell that when I started streaming, Mr. Cook for Fun figured out everything. And even though you don't see Mr. Cook for Fun, he is a very big part of this stream. He helps with the setup, and he gives, he does little fixes here and there to improve it. So, Mr. Cook for Fun, round of applause. And you can see his arm. So he's been known as Mr. Hand. One time when I passed over some Swiss walnut pie to Mr. Cook for Fun, it was to celebrate our 100th follower from Switzerland, and that was Engadiner pie. It's a Swiss nut tart. And one time he brought over a lemon, so he was called Mr. Lemon. Yes, Almira gives you an applause. He's smiling. You can't see him, but he's smiling. So in our spring rolls, we have I actually started cutting some of the ingredients yesterday, but let me explain if you weren't watching yesterday. Some of the interesting ingredients in our spring rolls are, I'll put the bag here, it's not so pretty, are taro root, which is a root vegetable. Okay. The skin is this brown color, which is kind of like tree bark, but not as thick as tree bark, just, but it's got that texture. And then the inside is white, and there are some particles which resemble strands from the bark, okay, a bit of fiber. And the taste, to me, I tasted a bit of this raw yesterday, and it kind of tastes a bit like coconut. The way it crunches is like coconut. Yeah. Here, try some Mr. Cook for Fun. A bit like coconut. But you can see it's not like coconut at all. And it just, and when you cook it, it starts here like a potato. So when you cook coconut, it doesn't turn like a potato. So it's kind of like a potato that tastes like coconut. Okay. So we grated a bunch of this yesterday. Is in here. And I also introduced you to a mushroom called wood ear mushroom. Okay. It looks like ears. Looks like ears. Okay. And I dried them, and I also cut them up into small portions. And we also chopped up onion. Okay. I'm just going to check on the chicken, then I'll be back, and we're going to shred some carrot. Okay. I can actually turn up the heat a bit so to get it brown, but if I don't get it brown, that's okay. I just have to make sure we don't get anything burnt. Okay. And let us know if the sound has improved. Mr. Cook for Fun is working on sound control as we speak. You might see a little piece of the arm over there in the screen. Okay. Now I'm going to shred some carrots. Doing quite a few things. Sorry about that. I like to put a glove on when I shred. I didn't do it yesterday, but I find that when you press your hand on the metal part of the box shredder, like it hurts after a while. So I like to just use a glove, and I'm just going to shred it. You can use a vegetable peeler. You can even just chop it with a knife. But I haven't used a shredder before, so I thought I'd give it a try. I kind of think the screen is in the way. I might move that, so I can move this screen, and I can shrink that to end. I can make, oops, I can do that, and I can move it. But that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. It's a bit better. No, I don't know. I guess I'm not cooking in those side spots, and I'm not talking in those spots, so I can leave it in the middle. Yeah. You can see the wok jiggling. I have a wok stand, but the wok stand is used more when we have a gas stove. Because the wok stand raises the wok too high that it doesn't touch the stove surface, and you don't get any heat that way. So we're not using the wok stand. And this carrot is almost done. Okay, and just for safety, I'm going to use a knife to finish off the rest. Okay. Let's check on the chicken. It's not really browning, and I think that's because well, there's a lot of juice. Excuse me. So the rice is ready. But that's okay. we'll just let that keep cooking, and we'll finish working with the carrots. So just shake out some of the carrots. I'm just going to hand cut the rest. I'm so interested in seeing pictures of your smoked eel, Almaria. Yeah. If you're following me on Twitter, I would love to see I would love to follow you back and see any photos that you might post on the smoked eel. Because it sounds really, really nice, and it's not common in Canada. Eating eel is not common. They do sell eel in this Chinese supermarket, but it's not common. It's not common in the Western supermarkets in Canada. So I would definitely love to see pictures of your smoked eel. Yeah. Or if you have pictures, or if there are other pictures that look similar to your smoked eel, I would love to see that. Okay. So we have a lot of colors going on. Okay. Now we're going to go back to the chicken. But what we're going to do is grind up the walnuts. Okay. The walnuts are over here. They're cooled now, by now. And we're going to turn this walnut into a paste. And go straight into a food processor. Excuse me. Okay. The reason we have the parsley here is that we're going to put some in the chicken. Yeah, right there. That looks good. Lettuce. That's for the spring roll. Okay. I'm going to cover it up. And this is going to be loud, so I'm going to mute the mic when I turn this on. Okay, so that's ground it up into a powder. And if I want to get that into a paste, I just add some water. This recipe says to use some chicken stock, but I think the chicken has enough flavor that I'll add some water instead. So I'm going to add a bit of water and then mute the mic again and grind up the walnuts. very smooth walnut paste. It smells really good because we toasted it, so all the toasted nutty flavor comes out. It looks like baby food. That's what it looks like. Okay, so we're gonna take it back to the stove top to get the chicken simmering in the sauce. Then we'll return to here, and we'll keep that on low so we can safely do that. Okay, so let's take it back. And what I'll do is I'll increase the camera so you can see more. Yeah. I want to make sure you can see. Oh, I know, I can do this. Oh, I can't increase it anymore. Okay. What I can do is do that. Okay. I want to make it bigger so that you can see there's going to be more activity. Yeah, I'll make it bigger. Okay, that's good. And then get bigger, and then this part's. You can see. I'm going to take out our tagine, and I'm going to switch spaces. We're going to put the chicken. I'm actually going to clean that a little bit and saute some onions and garlic in there. So we are going to switch the tagine over to here, but first we're going to saute some onions and garlic. A spoon of cooking oil. That's a medium heat. We have the onions, and I'm going to cut some garlic. I'm going to switch that to low. So I like using the cleaver to press the garlic. It's really handy to do that. Cut the ends off. Let's see. Great. Just doing a simple hand dice. Okay. Oops. Okay. Great. So we're going to saute onion. after the onion and the garlic are sauteed, we're going to take the wok off and actually we're going to cook the chicken on this side. But then we're going to switch it again when we make the spring rolls. Okay. So we're doing a bit of back and forth here. Okay, that sounds nice. I have it on medium low. I'm going to let the onions sweat. My garlic away. Okay. And I'm going to just cut a bit more garlic for the spring roll. So we're going back and forth between different recipes. The rice is done, so that's good. That's we check that off our list. Press the garlic. This garlic goes into our spring roll filling. Good morning, Luco Rivers. How are you? Thank you for tuning in again to Cook for Fun. I did see you when our podcasts were streaming, and I thought about you yesterday because Mr. Cook for Fun is on a ketone diet, and he's no longer eating any carbs or sugar. And when I was making a chocolate cake yesterday, he told me, don't make that much because I won't eat it because he doesn't eat carbs anymore. And he sent me another recipe, but I wasn't sure if it would work for the show because for yesterday's show, we did a rice cooker chocolate cake recipe. We made the cake in a rice cooker. So the recipe that he sent me, instead of using flour, it uses 4 cups of zucchini, one of your favorites. And I thought of you because you're the person who explained to me how delicious zucchini relish is. So I was thinking, oh, I want to tell Luco Rivers about this zucchini chocolate cake recipe that is carb free. Yeah, I've never heard of a chocolate cake made with vegetable. Apparently it's supposed to be very, very delicious. So once we accumulate some zucchini, we can feature that on the show. Yeah. So let's check on our onions. Well, that looks pretty good. We're just sweating them. And nothing's burning, so I can add some garlic to it. Okay, I'll let that cook a bit longer. Wow, we are moving ahead. You made chocolate bread with zucchini, is that right? Zucchini is chocolate bread with zucchini. That's really, really interesting. Okay. That won't take too long. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a strawberry rose. I made a bunch of strawberry roses yesterday. I made 10 of them to put on our chocolate cake. I'm making one for the plating to go with the chicken. The reason is that the chicken we're making, it's not known for being very attractive. It's so delicious. It's made with ground walnut paste and pomegranate molasses, but with the color, once you see the chicken cooked, is just a beigey color. It looks like baby food. It's not very attractive, but it's so delicious. So to enhance the visual aspect of the dish, we're gonna add a bit of parsley. So the green is gonna break that to beige color. We're gonna add a strawberry rose on the plate so that it stands out. And we're gonna add some pomegranate seeds and sprinkle that over it just to help make that dish sort of pop out. Yeah, you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but unfortunately, since you can't taste the food that we're cooking on the show, you are experiencing the taste based on what I explained to you and what you see. We have to make it look good. So we're adding a strawberry rose, some parsley, some pomegranate seeds, and that will help. But I promise you, it's definitely worth trying this recipe because it's delicious. My mom, after she tried it, asked me for a one-on-one cooking lesson because she was so amazed at how delicious the combination of walnut paste and pomegranate worked together with the chicken. It just blew her away. It's one of those things. Normally you think of like salt, pepper, and your herbs and spices, but this is walnut. It's a nut, and it's pomegranate. It's a fruit going into the meat. So it's quite a pleasantly delicious treat. Pleasantly, surprisingly delicious treat. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's more like a banana bread. Okay. That sounds really good. So it's got zucchini in it. It's got chocolate in it. Wow, banana bread with white loaf bread. Or then a white loaf. Okay. I do hear some cracking. Let me just check on that. That's looking really, really good. I've turned the lid off, but since I mentioned I'll do the rose, let's just get this rose. So to do the rose, it's good to find strawberries that are plump and not too pointy. This is pointy, but you want the sides to be as fat as possible because those are the petals. We're going to cut the petals, which are simply incisions that go straight down all around the perimeter of the strawberry. Then once we do the outer perimeter, we move the knife inside by maybe 3 or 4 millimeters, 3 millimeters, and we do the same thing. We cut some inner petals, again, around the inner perimeter. And eventually, I don't know if you recall, but a strawberry is a bit hollow in the middle. The inside is going to sink down, and that's the middle of your rose. So we're just going to do that while the onion is sort of sweating on its own. I had a close-up camera yesterday, and we've just had unfortunate technical difficulties today. We had to switch. We're using my husband's work computer. We had to install the software on it. So we don't have our beautiful flags on the side. We don't have our menu listed. We can't do a close-up of the stove. Usually I can switch cameras, but we can't even do that. We had to sort of rush to get set up because it wasn't working. We were trying for 45 minutes on the other computer, then we just decided to switch it, and it works. But we had to do the setup from scratch, so some of the features are not there, but we'll be sure to get everything back to normal for the next stream. Yeah, I'm hoping to have a surprise for you guys. We're celebrating Canada's Day next weekend. So I don't know if you noticed that, but the middle just sunk in by itself because the middles of your strawberry are hollow. So this is sort of a repeat of yesterday. Username was here, Elmira was here, and I made strawberry roses um, for the chocolate cake. And this is a single strawberry rose for the Fesenjan. Just Fesenjan is the walnut pomegranate chicken, and it's the color is not interesting. It's beige. It resembles baby food. So just to make it stand out a bit, we're adding a bit of fresh parsley. We're adding pomegranate seeds, which um, we removed yesterday from the fruit, and we're adding a single strawberry rose just to make the dish pop because there's really no color to that dish except for the walnut, which is beige. Um, that's pretty much it. So thought we might give it a bit of a boost. Okay, so let's return to the back. And oh, I wish I could switch the screen over, but we'll have to make do like this. And what we're going to do is I'm going to move the tagine over to where the wok is. Then we're going to finish our cooking for the chicken over there. So let's do that. Okay. So moving the tagine over. Hi, username. Yes, so I didn't say hi, but I did know you were there, and that's why I was mentioning about the roses. So we're putting our sweated onions and sweated garlic over to the chicken. This is a very easy chicken dish to make. It's delicious. Guarantee a hit if you have guests. Make sure they're not allergic, though, to walnut or any type of, specifically walnut. Okay. We're actually going to move this wok. So I'm just going to plop it on top of the stove. We're using that again to make our spring rolls. So you can see the tagine is here. Here's the gorgeous lid for the tagine. We're going to finish it off by adding our walnut paste. So this was blended in the bowl, just 1 cup of walnuts. Very, very healthy. Walnut and pomegranate are considered superfoods. So in this recipe, we're combining 2 superfoods. So this is healthy, it's delicious. You can just imagine how many dishes out there contain 1 cup of walnuts. That's not dessert, it's your main dish. It's a meat dish. This meat dish has a full cup of walnut paste in it. Then that's going to be combined with pomegranate molasses, which is a pomegranate syrup. And if you don't have that, there's ways to make it. You could boil down pomegranate juice to get your pomegranate syrup. Honestly, I think that's a bit pricey. Pomegranates are pretty expensive at least where I come from. And if you can find the bottle of pomegranate molasses, I'll put that on the screen. Yeah, you see it. It's worth it. So I think I paid around $3 for it. And I don't have to boil down a lot of pomegranate. If you really can't find it, it's got some similarity to cranberry. You can try to prepare a cranberry syrup by boiling down cranberry juice. If you're tuning in from the UK, I know Itzwaga is in the UK. It kind of reminds me of the drink called Ribena, which is black currant syrup. It reminds me of, what do you think, Itzwaga? Do you think that pomegranate molasses kind of tastes like Ribena? To me it did. I mean, we are different. Black currant is a completely different fruit from pomegranate. But I just thought it's not a bad substitute to get that fruity tutti sweetness. And I like to get every single last drop because it's tasty. It's tasty. So I like my walnut paste. Very, very tasty. So I'm going to try to salvage as much as possible. Hey, Zorte. I'm so sorry. Yes, so I do have your flag, your Slovenia flag. And I did put it on last night. What happened was we had an issue this morning connecting to the Twitch server. And we're actually using my husband's work computer. We had to install the streaming software to the work computer to set up for today's stream. And since we've never had this done on the work computer before, we didn't have the chance to put our flag. So there's actually no flag up there, but I did put it on the old computer. Yeah. I think it's a diagonal line, right? The flag. So I did put it up. So I'm so sorry that it's your second time tuning into a live show and you don't see your flag. None of the flags are there, and it was a pretty stressful morning. We were trying for half an hour to connect with our regular computer that we usually use for streaming, and then after 45 minutes, my husband said, "Let's just try the work computer," and he actually said that Twitch was giving us an error message. It was coming from Twitch, although other people are on now. We tried different servers from different countries to get on, and we were playing around with that for 45 minutes. And we were like, it's 10 o'clock now. I wonder if we have to cancel the stream. But last minute, my husband said, let's try the other computer, and it worked. We had to install a bunch of things, but yeah, so we just couldn't put the flags on. But I promise your flag is there. Once we're back to normal next time we stream. Yeah. That's true. The pomegranate molasses, yeah, it is hard to replicate. And I don't know if your background is Persian or you eat this often, this dish. You seem to know a lot about this dish and how to make it properly. I would think that it might be a no-no to change it up, and I'm just licking this because it's good. But I can understand that some people may find it quite difficult to find pomegranate molasses. Yeah, it's very, very tart, the smell. It's definitely a berry taste, like a cranberry taste or a black currant taste. You can't replicate it exactly, but the good news is you're only using approximately 3 tablespoons in this. So you know what? I'm going to eyeball it. I don't want to get my spoon sticky, so I'll just drizzle it across. And I should fire up the tagine to a max, to a good medium heat. The chicken's only half cooked. I just wanted to brown them. Like that. So 1 swirl, that's about a teaspoon. And another teaspoon. Okay. Yeah, but I hope that a lot of you can try this dish. It's one of the best dishes. The combination of walnut and pomegranate is amazing. Okay. The name of this dish is Fesenjan, Fesenjan, Fesenjan. I think if you hit _ menu, the list of foods will come up for today's show. Yeah, did something happen to our stream system? Well, we're not sure. It was working fine yesterday, so we're not sure, but we're using my husband's work computer. We sort of have to diagnose it over the week. Yeah. And here's me again. I like to save every little last drop. This stuff is very good and it's very healthy. It's It's walnut paste. Yeah, walnuts, a superfood, super healthy. And these were toasted lightly and then ground into a paste. First I would ground it into a powder, then I added water to the processor to get the processor moving, to get the paste or the powder ground even finer, to get the smooth paste. It's really, really good stuff. Probably lick it after the show. Yep, waste not, want not. Okay, now we're going to add our seasonings, which are a nutmeg. We're going to add some. Can you see it? Just bring it to the front. Okay. Some nutmeg, some cinnamon, some turmeric, salt and pepper, and some sugar. Yeah, I'm going to add the sugar to taste. I'm trying to cut sugar as well. Yeah, Fesenjan, chicken with the stuff on. My screen is a little cut, so I can't read all that. It's chicken. Chicken. What did I say? On the side. Okay. Is it coming up, the menu? Yeah, okay. We also have rice that just finished. So we've got nutmeg, cinnamon, and turmeric. Okay. So let's just bring these over. And it's looking a bit dry. Rather than adding some chicken broth, I'm just going to add water. I think chicken is flavorful. A couple of them have bones in them. So with turmeric. Turmeric is also very healthy. Lots of health benefits to turmeric. In the Indian culture, turmeric is used in a lot of foods. And some people even add a bit of turmeric in their milk when they drink it. When they're not feeling well. Turmeric is a beauty product. You can make a face mask using turmeric. And it's supposed to make your skin look more healthy. And some nutmeg. So that was cinnamon, turmeric, and nutmeg. And some pepper and salt. Salt, okay. Oh, where's my salt? Oh, here it is. I go easy on salt, but my husband likes more salt. Okay. And, okay, sugar to taste. I'll just put a spoon of sugar. I think it's good. This is coconut sugar because my husband's on a keto diet. Okay, that should be good. The sugar, I don't want to put too much sugar because we already have pomegranate in it, but the pomegranate fruit has a bit of tartness, a bit of acidity, and the sugar helps cut that. So it helps with the flavor. And why am I not mixing? Good question, because I'm going to start mixing right now. I'm going to use my chopsticks. I think it's easier that way. Okay, let's mix. I'm going to add a bit of water too. What I'm going to do is add about a quarter cup of water. And I'm going to put it in the food processor. I'm going to mute you for a second. So I wanted to get the rest of the walnut paste that's in here. Get that. And this is going to go in here. Okay. All right. Okay. So now I can mix it. Oops. So if you're wondering what this is a tagine. It's an African slow cooker. You don't have to use a tagine. I just like to. I think it looks really nice for the string to use it. Otherwise, if I were not streaming, I would just cook it in a regular pot. But I quite like using it on the stream. One of our viewers it likes to do pottery, so every time he sees it, he comments because this is what he does in his profession. He makes clay items. And it's thick because of the walnut paste. I don't need to add a thickener to it. So see the color, it's so interesting, and that's why I have the parsley and the pomegranate seeds to help. It is very, very tasty. It looks like curry, but it's not anything like curry. Like the taste is very nutty. Lots of walnuts in here. Okay. Okay, so we're going to let that heat over here. Heat. Great. We get to focus on the spring rolls now. Okay. And what I can do is shrink the screen for you so you don't see so much here. You just see that. Here. Uh-oh, but where is the chat? It disappeared. I don't know how to use this computer. I'll have to use my cell phone. Okay, so great. Okay, so let's finish off the spring rolls. Okay, we're going back and forth a lot. So for the spring rolls, the vegetarian items are the taro, which is this taro root. And I found out from another viewer yesterday living in Trinidad, this is also known as dashin. Dashin. And I've also seen some other versions of this recipe that use a root vegetable called jicama in Mexico. Jicama, Jicama. And some other viewers have noted that this vegetable kind of resembles yuca or cassava. So it's peeled, and the original outer skin is this like a bark-like skin appearance, right? And also, where the ingredient that looks black, those are wood ear mushrooms, and these are wood ear mushrooms. They look like ears. They kind of look like ears. Wood ear mushroom. In Trinidad, the viewer from Trinidad mentioned that these are also known as bat ears, but they're vegetarian. They're vegetarian. Yeah. My rose drop. Okay. Now we're going to add the meat to it and then the seasoning. So the meat. I'm going to add ground pork, crab, and also shrimp. So let's prepare the shrimp. I got this cutting board on top of this block because I want the raw food to be on here. So, because putting this in the sink to wash it is kind of troublesome. I rather just do a gentle wash with water rather than tons of soap on this because it's heavy. So I can save this for the raw cooking. Okay, so let's get our shrimp, our crab, and our pork out. Okay. And we just have regular ground pork here. Let's actually move it away from the strawberry. Strawberry, so I'll put strawberry somewhere else. Maybe you won't be able to see it. Ah, I know, right by the. You can't see it. Up here. You see a little bit of the strawberry. Okay. So we've got pork. We have crab legs. So this is crab leg meat. Normally I would have just skipped this step because it's not easy to find crab meat, and it's also expensive, but I bought this to make another dish, and then to make a seafood Vietnamese noodle dish, and I didn't really like how it turned out, so I'm going to use this in the spring roll. But you normally do use crab in the spring roll, but this is just so-so to me for the soup, so I'm going to use it in the spring roll instead. I won't use all of it. I'll measure out enough that I think is appropriate. So I've got shrimp, and it's already been peeled and deveined. Normally on the show, if the shells are on, I would show you a trick for taking the shell off or taking the vein out. I use a toothpick and I stick it through the shrimp and I pull it out and it comes right out. It's like magic. But I found out that these the shrimps that we bought were already peeled, so I guess that saves a bit of trouble. So I'm just going to take off the tails. Okay. And your question, where's Mr. Fun when you need him? That's right, he's upstairs. But that's okay, I can see the chat beside me to the right. And your question, when are we covering or making potato? I'll let you know. I'll send you a whisper once we get to that. Yeah, and I've been sending a few whispers over last night. Username also sent me a recipe to make a Christmas ribs, which is a Norwegian specialty. It involves baking your ribs and getting a nice crackling forming on the skin. I see some steam coming out. Let's just sort of lower that heat. Okay. And it just looks marvelous too. And you also asked me username. You also, I just briefly saw this morning your comment saying that I'm a foodie and then asking if there's anything I don't like. So I'm allergic to peanuts, hazelnuts, and a little bit of pecan. I can't take too much pecans or pecan nuts. But am I a foodie? So I was thinking about the answer to your question. And the answer to that is I do like food very much. But what I enjoy most about this show is the cultural experience, the cultural exchange and learning. Because behind your food, you have a story. Whenever I can, I like to share a story behind the food. It comes up every now and then. It comes up in my research when I'm looking up how to make something and I see a paragraph written on some background about the food. I like to share that, and I'm genuinely quite interested in that. So when I saw the couple of food items you mentioned, they both involved lamb. One was a lamb cabbage soup. It sounded very, very hearty and soulful and very, very warming, perfect for me, who is sick. I was thinking, oh, that would have been perfect for my flu. To have the lamb broth boiling for a long time, get all the nutrients coming out of the bones, and then also the lamb, the salty lamb. That sounds delicious too. So I was thinking, I guess in Norway you have access to a lot of lamb. And that's why it's in a couple of your national dishes to have lamb in them. So there's always a story behind food. That's not an interesting story, though. I mean, about having access to a certain meat, but um, there's often lots of stories. And about the heat, I have turned it down to minimum. So you see the steam. I'll just show you what it looks like. It's a tagine is a slow cooker. Yeah. So it's actually on minimum. But the thing about the tagine slow cooker is that the concave shape of the lid, it actually helps to keep the internal heat of the pot very, very well. It's I guess an older style of a slow cooker, and there you go. So it's on minimum, but it's boiling. Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty interesting. So it's all good. Well, thanks for noting that too. I appreciate it because I have burnt things in the past, and that's not good. It happened once, so hopefully, and that is, I don't want that to happen again. Okay, so I'm going to cut up this shrimp and get some crab and get some pork and put it in the filling mix for the spring roll. So I'm just going to hand mince the shrimp. I was thinking, oh, these shrimps are already peeled, they're butterfly. Why am I not just eating them, cooking them and just eating them? Why am I chopping them up into bits to use in spring rolls? Usually when I add shrimp to spring roll or any dumpling mix, since it's going to be mixed with all these other ingredients, it's best to use cheaper shrimp, to use smaller, cheaper shrimp. But we already had this, and we finished the smaller, cheaper shrimp. So we're using this, but it's not too pricey. It's just one of those things to think about. If you're tuning in from a country where shrimp might be pricier, it's not easy to come across. Because in general, seafood is pricier than other meats for a lot of people. Even if you're living beside the water, I feel that it's not cheap. Fish is not cheap. Like my father-in-law is from the eastern province of Newfoundland, Canada, and they're known for Newfoundland. Actually, the province, that area is known for fish. It's known for lobster, but it's not like the locals there are eating lobster all the time. It's actually pretty expensive, even though it comes from there. So I understand the need to be mindful of budgets in the home, and if I were to make this again, I would sort of make sure I'm using a more cost efficient shrimp, a smaller shrimp, because once it's mixed in, you don't taste a lot of it. It's more for the flavor. So there you go. I'm adding the shrimp in the mix. Okay. I'm going to rinse my hand a bit and add a bit of crab and some pork. And I didn't use soap. Okay. Wow, really? Lobster used to be regarded as poor man's. Wow, it's like it's luxury now. So I'll tell you the situation in Canada. So Canada has very good lobster in the eastern provinces, and I'm going to use about half of that. Okay? That's crab legs, and I guess the GDP or the economy of China has increased, and Chinese love seafood. Like eating seafood is seen as kind of like a delicacy. It's luxury, and people have increased their spending power in China due to the economy, and people liked a lot of lobster produced in Canada gets exported to China, and the Chinese pay big bucks for lobster, So yeah, so it's interesting that lobster used to be a poor man's food, but it is a luxury item now. Yeah. My parents like to order 2 small lobsters, I guess a pound each, from this restaurant. It's $25, and that's considered cheap. Um, yeah, two small lobsters for $25. That's stir fry in a garlic spring onion sauce. Okay, I'm gonna get a spatula to help mix this up. Okay, actually I want some help from Mr. Cook for Fun. I do, he did come down, but I do want him to fix the Streamlab for me. Yeah. Okay, so he got the message. And how's it going? CSP, how are you? Welcome to Cook for Fun. And let us know what country you're tuning in from. I'm embarrassed because if you look at some of my old videos, and my vodcast will be running after this show, I'm sort of known for having my flags as the side borders of my screen, but because of some technical difficulties this morning, we had to switch over to a different computer, and the settings are yeah, like we couldn't redo all the settings. We were 1 hour behind our schedule, so we normally have our flags to showcase the different countries that people are from. I know Zortex is from Slovenia, and your flag was added, but we're on a different computer, so it's not showing. Yeah, so I promise you're going to see it. It was actually showing on your right-hand side on the top, because I always add, the next flag, and it sort of populates and gets added to the top. So, so we had good intentions, but it just, yeah, it didn't show. So there we go. Lots of ingredients in our spring roll. That's actually slightly half a pound, well, slightly more than half a pound of pork, a quarter pound of crab, even less than a quarter pound of shrimp, because there's so much going on. Thank you, Kent. I'm flattered because my voice is a bit off. My hair is off too today. And I'm going to put this perishable meat back in the fridge. And it's so late for you, Kent. It is almost 1 a.m. in Singapore. So I had raw meat on here, so we can move that away. Yeah, okay. I'm going to crack 2 eggs. If you've ever looked at recipes for meatballs, spring rolls, or dumplings, you often see eggs. And the reason is that eggs act as a binding agent. Oh, so we're actually 12 hours apart. Yes, it's time to sleep. You have work. Yeah, but thanks for supporting the stream and always stopping by. Yeah, and have a good rest and have a good week ahead. Yeah, what country are you tuning in from? CSP, or should I call you Pan Rule for short? So I'll just be mixing this away. The spring rolls are really, really good. He might have seen this too being made before. It's a repeat because we were going to, we had plans to make it for my brother-in-law and his family last week, but I got sick and my husband got sick and we canceled it. And we bought the ingredients, and some of them are perishable, like the taro is perishable. So we thought, just make it since we had a plan to make it. And we also listed in our channel that we would make it. So since we canceled, we thought we're just gonna shift everything by a week. But what we didn't make is this week is schnitzel because none of the ingredients are perishable. So we thought there's a lot of food, so we can use that for another stream. Okay. This is not all that's going in. There's more. There's noodle that's going in here too. It's pretty intense. There's really a lot of ingredients. It's a good thing I sort of started this yesterday. When the cake was cooking yesterday, in yesterday's stream, we had some time, so I started preparing some of these vegetables yesterday. So that helps to move it along. Because we have 3 items on today's stream. Spring rolls is life. Yeah. With my sickness, I shouldn't be eating too many spring rolls. But my mom said, well, since we're gonna roll these up in lettuce. I guess I don't need this anymore. It will neutralize. It will neutralize the negative effects of the deep fried spring roll. I'm going to add our noodles. Okay. So these are called mung bean noodles. They're noodles made out of bean. I think mung bean is a green bean. I think it's either green or a yellow bean, but it's a noodle made out of bean. And I'm going to get a paper towel to soak up the excess water. And put away the crab. Okay. I don't know why noodles in spring roll. There's already tons of stuff in it, but it's in the recipe and I happen to have it, so we're going to put it in. I understand why restaurants would use it. They would use it to sort of fill it up to save money, but yeah. But for home cooking, you can sort of add more good ingredients. Yeah. Where did I go? I'm back. I didn't season the meat yet, so I'm going to season everything after everything's mixed up. Or I'm going to season it very, very soon. It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference. You know? Okay, so it's quite wet. Every time you're making something for a filling, so you add your egg as a binding agent, and you try to dry your ingredients. So yesterday when I was preparing the taro and the wood ear mushroom, I think I need more paper towel. Pretty wet stuff. I'll be back. I'm just behind you guys, behind the screen, behind the chat room. Oh, the dog's not eating his food, so put that in the fridge. Okay. We're in the pot. It's good to sort of get rid of any excess liquid because that sort of, the liquid sort of prevents the ingredients from binding. So even though everything is going to be wrapped up in a tight spring roll, it's still nice to have a chewy texture like a meatball when you bite into it. So we want these. It won't be perfectly dry, we just don't want excess water to sort of make the filling slippery. It won't be bounded as tight, I guess, as a meatball, if that's the right word. Don't want it slippery. Yes, I'm making spring rolls for you all. Look at all this filling. Thank you for the comments. We moved kitchens. In my earlier streams, which are on YouTube now, they're no longer archived in Twitch, I was in a different kitchen, and that was a pretty good kitchen too. I quite miss that kitchen, and the island was huge. So if you see some of my Twitter photos, the camera is on a bar stool on the other side of the peninsula. So we're not on the same level. You guys are on a pedestal, and I'm looking up at you. Yeah. Okay, so let's get. I can use the cleaver. Alright. Just chop it up. I don't really know why we. And I had these noodles soaking in hot water. That's it. I didn't even boil them. Just hot water, and they've been soaking for a couple of hours or more, and they're cooked. I don't really know why there's noodle in the spring roll. And these are mung bean noodles. They're not rice noodles. They look like rice noodles, but they're mung bean noodles. And I guess my husband's on a ketone diet, so I guess it's good for that. It's not carb, it's bean. I guess it's chewier. It kind of resembles Korean glass noodles. So if you're familiar with Korean food, sometimes a popular appetizer that's served is called japchae, which is Korean glass noodles that are mixed with, oh, I shouldn't have put that away. And I should have used my other cutting board. Okay, so I'll put that all right in. I'll add our seasoning, then I'll give it a good mix. Okay, we're good. Wow, we're getting some rain here. Yep, okay, so let's get our seasoning. We're going to get fish sauce, white pepper, yeah, and some, I guess that's it. Okay. Fish sauce, white pepper, and yeah, that's good. I could add sesame oil, but I don't think I'm going to taste it in here. It's not going to come out. There's a lot going on. So this looks like approximately 3 pounds. So for 3 pounds of filling, I'm going to use about 2.5. I'm going to start with 2.5 tablespoons of fish sauce. Fish sauce is a fermented anchovy sauce. I'm going to do 3 tablespoons, so approximately 1 pound of filling to 1 tablespoon of fish sauce. I think that's good. Okay. It is quite strong. If you don't have fish sauce, you could use soy sauce. That'll work too. What's the difference between soy sauce and fish sauce? They're both fermented. Soy sauce is a fermented sauce made from soybean. Wow, there's a bit of thunder. Wow, okay. And which is good for our garden, a lot of water. And they're both fermented, but soy sauce is vegetarian. The fish sauce is made with anchovy, that's right. Anchovy, salt, water, sugar, and wheat protein, okay? And the major difference is, I guess, the level of umami. So there's that word again. If you're not familiar with umami, umami is it's known as a sixth flavoring that the Japanese came up with. That's a Japanese word. So Japanese believe that there's 6 different flavors. There's your sweet, salty, bitter, sour. Hold on, is that right? Sweet. I know I'm missing something. Sweet, salty, bitter, sour. I think it's a 5th flavor. And then there's umami. Umami is that fragrancy, flavorful funk that you get from fermented goods. So that's your fermented anchovy. That is your Worcestershire or your Worcestershire sauce. And it has kind of like an earthy mushroom flavor. It's that taste that you get before something has gone moldy. Like it's been aged. It's aged, but it's not moldy yet. It's aged and it's got that deep, rich, really good flavor, but it hasn't gotten moldy yet. So that's how you describe umami. I sort of call it like a fragranty, fragranty funk. Okay, so that was 3 tablespoons of the fish sauce and our white pepper. White pepper is really good. White pepper is stronger than black pepper. It's quite common in Asian cooking. If you don't have white pepper, black pepper is fine. The difference is white pepper tends to be very, very finely ground, and it's just extra peppery. It's not spicy as in chili pepper, where you have your Scoville level. It's not going to make your face turn red. It's just that it's going to tickle your throat a bit more. So, how much? Okay. I'm going to do start with 1 teaspoon. I'm going to do another half. It's strong, it's good. Our dipping sauce is going to have some chili in it, so we don't need to spice up the filling too much. That's going to be really good. 1.5 teaspoons of white pepper is quite strong, but not too strong. It's going to be good. All right, then we're going to mix everything up. I'm going to give it a good mix because some of the ground beef was sort of packed together in the bag, so I'm going to give it a nice mix. Okay. And when I mix it, I know you don't have an aerial view of it. Look at this. Some liquids are coming out. I think the liquid is coming out of the noodle that I had chopped up. And because of that, we will add some cornstarch to help make sure that our filling is nice and thick and nicely bound together. But we will have to give it a pretty repetitive mixing because of all these ingredients in here. And I don't know if there's a magic trick. Kind of do have a bigger bin, but that's okay. I can manage. Yeah, I'd be more comfortable if I used a bigger bin like this. But that's okay. We're almost there. And I have a spatula. Okay, it's okay. It's got a bit of residue. It's got a bit of walnut. No big deal. And I'm going to sort of, use it together. And I will show you a close-up. It's colorful. There's a color that's missing, and that's green. We've got green missing. So I didn't use green onion. I used white onion. Then I put the spatula away. I don't know why I did that. So this is quite a bit. I normally use a deep fryer to cook the spring rolls, but I'm going to try and use a wok today. So we've got our African tagine in the background, and we're going to switch over to an Asian wok. I thought I'd give that a try, and I like to show different things on the stream. We have quite a number of cross-cultural dishes in today's stream. We have the Persian chicken, we have the Vietnamese spring roll, we have the Indonesian rice. That's already ready. It's in the rice cooker. We just have to plate that at the end of the show. Yeah, I think we're almost there. Okay, looks pretty good. And I'll show you a close-up, but we still need the cornstarch, okay? So here we go. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a bit shiny, and that's because there's water that has been released from some of the ingredients. So let's add some cornstarch to thicken it up. I like the powers of cornstarch. Cornstarch is great for making gravies. Okay. Can't use too much. My husband bought xanthan gum yesterday. Xanthan gum? Let's put a good tablespoon. Because he's on this ketone diet, so no carbs, no flour. And cornstarch counts as a flour, so he only started this recently, so I have to get used to that. Take out the xanthan gum. And now I have to explain to everyone what xanthan gum is. I don't really know myself, but it is a thickener. I see it in salad dressings. When I read the labels of salad dressings, I see xanthan gum. Okay, so I'll get our wooden spoons here. I think we're almost done, and we just have to start rolling away. I feel like we need more starch, though. I just feel like it's so wet. I'm just going to put a lot of it in it. Lots of starch. Okay, I think that's a lot. Right. And we hope to have our settings fixed soon, because our map is such a trademark feature of our show. Our map and our flags, usually the two sides, the right side and the left side of our screen, if you look at our past videos, are the vodcasts that we'll be showing later after this screen. We usually have flags. I ask everyone what country you're tuning in from. We've collected a good number of flags, and it's been fun to share different cooking ideas. Always lots of fun. Okay. I keep looking this way because I think that the chat is here, but I can see it here, so let me cover that up because I can see you now. Yeah, I can see you by looking at you. Okay, so I have a lot of starch. Okay, so we're ready to rock and roll. So we've got, so you can see part of the filling on your left side, and we're going to get our wrappers. We're going to put some water in the bowl, and we're going to start rolling away. Okay. So we have our water bin right here. It's good that it's covered. There's nothing interesting to look at. Then we got our lettuce leaves that are used for serving. Okay. Okay, we bought extra rice wrappers. So this is the rice paper. It's just made of rice flour and water. That's it. Very simple. And it's like magic. The way you prepare this, so these are dry. It's like paper. It's just kind of looks like wax paper in a way. It's very thin. I dip it in water. So, let's see. Dip it in water. Okay, the middle parts don't have water. You can see it. The middle part doesn't have water, so I'll just sort of splash some water. Splash some water. Sometimes I'm wondering if you've laughed or you're sleeping, but you're still here. Yeah, I don't want to keep you from your rest. Okay, and I'm going to do two. I do two at a time. They actually need a few moments to fully absorb. They do need to be soft and more pliable before we roll them up. So I'm splashing it in the middle part that doesn't have, that's not see-through yet. So water. Okay. So this one has gotten softer. I'll just peel it off. You can see it's gotten like a really soft. Look at that. Yeah. Okay. So we just put our. Okay. Now I switched it over. Now we don't put our filling on. So this is about the size of 2 meatballs. I'm going to make these smaller because I want more crispy skin. And I want to make more volume rather than, I want some more small spring roll rather than fewer big spring rolls. And then I'll just roll it up like a burrito. That's it. So these are smaller than what I usually make. But I like them to be bite-sized. And so they were hard and they turned soft after I made them wet. There we go. In the front. I'm going to wet. More food. We have rice today. We have chicken and spring roll. Yeah. So here's our spring roll. That's a pretty big amount of filling. I'll just put some on the other one over here. Okay. Let's roll away. And I don't have to boil the paper. It just turns soft. It's magic. After you dip it in water and you just kind of wait, it turns soft. There we go. There's our other spring roll. I actually thought about not rolling it all on screen, but it's so easy that I think I would be able to roll them all in like 5 minutes or 7 minutes. They look big on camera, but they're actually not that big. They're not that big. But on camera, when I put them right in the front like that, they look really, really big. We get to open our other pack of wrappers. So this is our mix. Splashing it on. Okay. Kent, is this something you eat in Singapore? Have you had these rolls in Singapore? Yeah. Okay. I just opened another package of these wrappers. There's so many brands. I just buy whatever I see. Or on sale, whatever. Yeah, they're all the same. I don't really notice the difference between the brands. Okay. It looks like a lot of meat, but there's a lot of vegetable that's mixed in to the filling. There's onion, there's wood ear mushroom, there's taro, then there's noodle, like a lot of vegetarian ingredients. And there's 3 different types of meat, but there isn't a lot of it. I can actually start frying. Yeah. I wonder how many I'll end up with. Doesn't look like so much because I'm making these bigger than I thought. So I'm putting a lot of filling in them. Oops. Okay. I think we're just going to make 7 rolls, and I'm going to put the rest of the filling in the fridge and finish them off camera, and get these frying up so that you can see the final product. Because I think the chicken's ready, the rice is ready, so then we can start the plate earlier that way. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the fridge. All right. So let's head over to the stove top, and we're going to fry these using a wok. Oh, what did my family think of the cake yesterday? So my parents thought it was too sweet, but my husband really likes it. And the texture was quite different. Not because we used the rice cooker, but because we replaced the cake flour with almond flour. I'm going to grab one more tissue. I'm right behind you. Okay. And cake flour is supposed to be nice and light. Cake flour is lighter than all-purpose flour, but by replacing with almond flour is simply almonds that have been grounded into a powder form, and almonds are really, really dense. So I don't think that you can get a nice, fluffy cake with almond flour. So it was more dense. It kind of resembled brownie more than cake. But brownies are delicious, and almonds are delicious too. So overall, it was a hit. So let's check out our chicken. Yeah. Okay. And I'm going to increase the camera screen too. There you go. So as I told you, it's not very beautiful. Ooh. Okay, we had some of the pomegranate stick to the bottom. Should have been more mindful of that. Oops. Okay. pomegranate. So I'm going to use our spatula and sort of work at that. I know that with this tagine, it's not non-stick, so I thought that on low heat that we could have avoided that, but that's unfortunate. I hope it's not ruined. If anything, I will add more pomegranate molasses to it. But it's the sugar that is stuck to the bottom. Okay. Anyways, but we still have more pomegranate molasses. But I learned, I like the tagine because it looks very nice, the tagine, but it's not non-stick. A non-stick pan would have been better. Yeah. But that might not be burned. That could, because the pomegranate molasses is this color. So. Oh, yeah. Check it out. Okay, so let's move this aside. I have my other glove here. Putting our wok here. Turn it to medium heat. We're going to add some oil to that. Thank you, pan roll. With the tagine, though, it's easy to have your food stick to the bottom. I should have gave it a stir while we were preparing the spring roll ingredients. So I'm just gonna pour all that in. We have more oil. This is recycled cooking oil from the last time we deep fried. So what you can do is use a coffee filter to filter out any of the residue left behind, like any of the fried crispy bits that get left behind and are floating in the oil. You can filter that out and save the oil and put it in the fridge, and it could last. It's good for a couple of months to cook, to use with, to cook again. So that is recycled cooking oil, and it's not enough, so we're going to add more.